Two? Two. But the thing is, turn the TV down a little bit. But Ted, put your headset on. Can you hear me? All right, so you'll be able to hear the ref. So Jason, take this downstairs. Go down the sign now. Hold it like that. Just test. Yeah, go where the ump is, right behind the plate. All right. When you get down there and look up here, and count to 10.
Let's go.
One, two, three. One, two. One, two.
How you feeling this morning? You ain't feeling it this morning? I know, we're forever indebted to Greg. If I can get it past myself, I promise you, Greg will buy a franchise.
Hey, young man. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Gee, what did they do? Water it down too much?
We've mic'd up the umpire. Oh, cool. All right. You say, oh, cool, but everything's on. Yeah. So if you guys come out here bellering and cussing and everything, the whole world's going to see it. Okay. So you guys got to know.
Not my style. So
okay, that's good. That's good. No, that's good. So just be aware of what's going on in your surroundings and everything. He is too. He won't let it happen. And we're listening too. So, I mean, if you go crazy or something like that, you know, now it might make Sports Center too. There you go. Because I do have connections to Sports Center. So. Okay. But he's mic'd up. It's going to be really cool. You can hear things and stuff like that. So. Yeah, but you guys got to know. Let your coaches know. Let your coaches know. Okay. Don't let the kids know because they're just going to freak out about it. Right. So. Okay. Really, seriously. All right. Have a good game, guys. Thanks so much.
Brandon, congratulations on getting this far, buddy. Congratulations. Your name again?
Mark.
Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, Mark and Brandon.
Great to see you.
All right, gentlemen.
I feel like you guys should be here.
Congratulations for getting this far. We'll look for a good game today. Are the bats legal?
Yes, sir.
Players properly equipped?
Yes, they are.
Okay, have you got any questions so far on the rules or regulations? You got any gripes or anything right now? Nope. Okay, Jeff, Jerry, and Johnny and Don Reed will officiate today, and we'll try to be on top of everything. Okay? We're going to still flip. You got an option to play the full 6 innings or time limit, whatever you want to do. Or, of course, the mercy rule is still in effect. 15 and 10, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you guys want?
Play 6.
We play the 6 innings?
Play 6.
Okay, we're still flipping for home team.
Okay.
I got a red and a blue. I'll just make you red and you blue. Is that fair enough? Call it in the air. Oh, that's right. Blue. Okay, you're blue. You're home.
All right.
Okay.
Great. Good game. Good luck. Thank you, guys. Good luck, man. Good luck to you. Coach, good luck.
Hey, big guy. Nice to see you, man. You need a baseball, don't you?
Yeah, it would be nice. Oh, yeah.
All right. We got somebody with a towel over there? Hey, where's my towel, man? You my towel?
I got it right here.
All right. Here's my towel, man. You ready to go, young man? Okay, get in there and catch. Get in there and catch 2, and we'll get this thing going. 2 more, pitch, ball's in. Hold the second one down, son. mix them down. Yeah.
Hi, and a very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series from Snowden Grove Park in South Haven, Mississippi. I'm Ted Rutan. We are down to the championship game of the 9-year-old minor league division. The home team in this ball game, the North Chilton All-Stars. The visitors, the Eastside Thunder. Leading things off for the Eastside Thunder is Templar T-Dog Mack, and he swings at the first offering from starting pitcher Braylon Carroll for the North Chilton All-Stars. We'll get to the lineups defensively here in a moment. 0-1 the count on Mack. Swing and a miss. Got him with an inside fastball there. 0-2. The umpires behind the plate. Don Reed from Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee. At first base, Jeff Bosley from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Second base, Jerry Richardson from Charleston, Mississippi. And at third, Johnny Ackerman from Memphis. 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 1 up, 1 down, 3 pitches from Braylon Carroll. Now batting for the Eastside Thunder will be the center fielder, number 88, Mad Dog Maddox Carey. Carroll sets, delivers, low and away, ball 1. Eastside Thunder from the Atlanta area. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, North Chilton All-Stars from Chilton, which is right in the heart of Alabama. Called strike, go to the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carroll has thrown 6 pitches, 5 of which have been strikes. Fouled back to the screen as we now hear the voice of Don Reed from Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee. 1-2 is the count. Let's set the defense for the North Chilton All-Stars. Around the infield, third base Malcolm Lazama, shortstop John Mason Hamaker, second base Max Burnett, and first base Braden Atchison. Here's the delivery. Swung.
He's out. Swinging.
Got him swinging. 2 up, 2 down. This will bring up
Who else?
the opposing starting pitcher, Walker Killamette. Carroll sets and deals. Strike on the outside corner. Carroll showing good control. This one is popped up foul, out of play.
Out of play.
We mentioned Braylon Carroll pitching. It's Collier Price behind the dish for the North Chilton All-Stars. The outfield from left to right, James Tyler Johnson in left, Pee Wee Davis in center, and Sebastian Caraway in right field for the North Chilton All-Stars. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded to second base. Burnett up with it. Over to Atchison, and it's 3 up, 3 down. A very clean first inning for the North Chilton All-Stars. At the end of 1/2 inning, Eastside Thunder, 0. North Chilton coming to bat.
I'm just going to see if I can get a... Hey, Dizzy Dean. Hey, Marty. Can we get the ground crew to bring a little of that dry stuff here? It's a little mud fall behind the plate. Thank you, son. You're welcome. Looking good. Okay, hustle off and on. Jazz hadn't lost? Have you? Sometimes that's not so good. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Yeah. Come on in here, young man. Take two. Two more pass balls in. Two more. Two more.
Welcome back to Snowden Grove Park in South Haven, Mississippi. The 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series 9-year-old championship game. Unless North Chilton wins, then we'll follow up with a second and final championship game. Let's get the lineup here for the Eastside Thunder. Leading off will be second baseman Max Burnett. Batting second, Braylon Carroll, the pitcher. Collier Price, the catcher, will bat third. Braden Atchison, the first baseman, followed by Sebastian Caraway, the right fielder. John Mason Hamaker at short. James Tyler Johnson in left. Malcolm Lazama at third base, and Pee Wee Davis, the center fielder. The defensive lineup for the Eastside Thunder. On the mound, Walker Killamette. Behind the dish, Johnny Dedrick. Let's go around the outfield. Donovan Calabrese in left, Maddox Carey in center, Andrew Harrington in right. In the infield, Kolten Brown at third, Jack Walsh at short, Templar Mack at second, and Caleb Glickman at first base. We mentioned we've got the home plate umpire Don Reed mic'd up. Right now we've got a little grounds crew action. They've done a great job here at Snowden Grove Park. We've had some weather come through about every night, affecting everything but the playability of these diamonds. They've done a fantastic job of keeping these diamonds in great shape and ready to play, and these players certainly appreciate it, and it's nice to see a ballpark kept this well. And another beautiful day for baseball. Bright sunshine, and it's only about 93 right now. It's going to get warm today, folks. And it has been, but these players love it. They're making sure they're hydrated. The park does a good job of making sure there's water and Gatorade out for everybody. We're getting our final warm-up tosses here from Walker Killamette. We'll get ready for some play. Hey, while we've got this, let's give some shout-outs here to some of the fans from North Chilton. They want to give some shout-outs to Chris Jones, former coach of North Chilton Elite, Danny Edwards, one of the assistants, Tim Callahan helping with our hitting, and all of our sponsors. We'll get to those in a little bit, and those who donated to the team. Juniors C. Brandy Ray said they might hit more home runs than the All-Star game had last night. Leading off, Max Burnett. He swings at the first pitch, goes to shortstop Jack Walsh, over to first, and dug out of there by Caleb Glickman. One down, nice play. One up, one down. Braylon Carroll, the pitcher for North Chilton, steps in against Killamette. Inside. Ball one. Inside right there, 2-0.
One. Come on! Oh.
In the air.
Golly.
Don Reed is now explaining that it's a foul ball. He called foul ball, so they're going to have him come back to the plate.
sound of the bat, I thought it was a foul ball. Play. Down. Rewind.
3 balls and 1 strike now to Carroll.
Well, I guess that was poetic justice after my bad call. The kid gets a walk. Gets on first anyway. So let's shape up here.
We'll just listen to the sounds of the home plate
Okay, we got
umpire.
one out. One on first. It's up now.
That one gets away to the backstop, and Carroll will move on up to second. That one snagged there by the catcher, Johnny Dedrick. 3-0 the count now on Collier Price. Popped up right back this way. If I had a glove and could get through the window, I'd have had it. Swinging on the 3-0. 1 out, runner on second. And that one's outside, so a second walk here in the bottom of the first puts runners at first and second.
Time. Courtesy runner.
We'll have a courtesy runner coming in. That'll be number 10, Ethan Ray. He scored a couple runs yesterday as a courtesy runner. Good snag there by Dedrick on that low and away pitch. Braden Atchison, the cleanup hitter. That one gets to the backstop. And we'll have a conversation on the mound as Mark Glickman wants to talk with Walker Killamette. On some of those shout-outs we gave earlier to North Chilton, they did want to mention their sponsors, Clanton Accounting, Central Alabama Preserve, A&D Construction, Ellison Recycling,
ready, huh?
Wilkins Trucking.
Okay, we're ready now. Coach called timeout, talked to the pitcher. They're settled in now. Okay, let's play. We'll on the batter. Going out.
That one gets to the backstop. We're going to have a play at the plate, and he slides in. Braylon
Pass
Carroll.
ball, runner scored from third. Slide into home.
One to nothing. North Chilton on top here in the bottom of the first, and a third consecutive walk as Braden Atchison takes first base. And we're going to have a second trip to the mound, which means we will have a change in pitchers. While we have a change in pitchers, let's take a short break, and we'll come back with more from the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series here in South Haven, Mississippi.
Hey, Mark. Who we got here, son? 98. What's his name? Doc? Zach. Okay. Zach's coming in, number 98. more pitch. Pitcher's warming up, throwing his last pitch. And we're going to resume playing here. Runners at first and third and one out. Play! Yeah, he's safe!
The stolen base by Braden Atchison, the throw down, allows Collier Price to come in and score, and it's 2-0 North Chilton All-Stars. Zach Nagel, the new pitcher, swing and a miss there by Sebastian Caraway. So it's now 2-0, runner on second, one out in the bottom of the first. Called strike 3. Nice pitch there by Zach Nagel, who has come in off the bench to settle things down here in the bottom of the first. John Mason Hamaker, the shortstop, steps in, looks at a ball outside. He tries to bunt, and it is not fouled off. Don Reed, who we have mic'd up.
I didn't hear that. Time! Did you hear a foul or anything? Okay, yeah. Well, the batter admitted he tipped it, but I didn't hear it, so nobody heard it. No. No, can't call it. Thanks for being honest, son, but we didn't hear it.
Excellent job there by Don Reed explaining that even though the batter admitted he tipped it, none of the umpires heard it, so they couldn't call it. And then he thanked the batter, John Mason Hamaker. That's really, really good stuff there from Don Reed. So now we have a runner on third, 2 out. 2 runs in already for the North Chilton All-Stars from Chilton, Alabama. And that's ball 4, so that'll be the 4th walk of the inning. And he's going to run to second immediately, and they say he is safe. He avoids the tag, and in doing so, that brings in Braden Atchison. One of those plays you see often in this level of baseball, where on a walk with a runner on third, they'll immediately run to second, hoping to get in a run down and score the run, but they were unable to put the tag down, so it is now 3-0, North Chilton on top. James Tyler Johnson at the plate. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes to Johnson. Nagel sets, delivers, it's fouled straight back. Count will stay no balls, 2 strikes. Johnson getting some instructions from the first base coach. Nagel sets and delivers. Called strike 3. That will end the first inning. However, the North Chilton All-Stars put up 3 on the help of 4 walks. Three runs in, no hits, 1 man left. At the end of 1 inning, North Chilton All-Stars 3, Eastside Thunder nothing.
Brandon. All right, 2 more, pass, balls in. You got 2 more, son. Throw the second one down.
Welcome back to beautiful Snowden Grove Park here in South Haven, Mississippi. Here's a nice overhead shot of the actual diamond these guys are playing this championship game on. The Eastside Thunder from Atlanta and the North Chilton All-Stars from Chilton, Alabama. 3-0 your score. It was a 3-up, 3-down, clean first inning for Braylon Carroll for the North Chilton All-Stars. Stepping in to face him now is cleanup hitter, catcher Johnny Dedrick. And, of course, we also have Don Reed from Reelfoot Lake, the home plate umpire, mic'd up. Let's listen to him for a moment.
What's up and out?
Carroll had excellent control that first inning. But they had a long bottom of the first, and maybe sometimes that affects the pitcher a little bit. We'll see if he can get back in the groove. Hit out to center field and
fly ball to center field. Center field made a good catch.
Davis
caught the ball.
If he only had the players' names out there, he could call the whole game. Don Reed doing a great job of keeping everybody informed out there. Pee Wee Davis, nice play in center field. 1 up, 1 down. Donovan Calabrese steps in. First pitch swinging. Braylon Carroll kicks and deals. Just missing on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Calabrese. That foul back to the backstop. Just missing our camera right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second. Braylon Carroll has been lights out on the mound for North Chilton so far. 5 up, 5 down, 3 strikeouts. Kolten Brown looks at 1 inside. Let's hear a little more from the home plate umpire.
No, it's in. Two-oh. No, it's low. 3-0.
see if Carroll can come all the way back now.
Lights up. Ball four.
Well, a simple lapse there from Carroll as he's been, it was 5 up, 5 down, and 4-pitch walk to Kolten Brown, first base runner for Eastside. Carroll's first pitch to Jack Walsh is called strike on the outside corner. One on, 2 out, top of the second. That was close to the camera. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing one down low. That will end the inning. At the end of 1.5 innings, it's North Chilton All-Stars 3, Eastside Thunder nothing. Welcome back to the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series from Snowden Grove Park in South Haven, Mississippi. I'm Ted Rutan, and we certainly want to thank all of our fine sponsors. We'll give a quick rundown. First of all, Shut Sports, and we'll hear from Diane Baker in a little bit. Baden Sports, David Sunflower Seeds, Rawlings, The Game Baseball Caps, Southern Athletic Fields, Louisville Slugger, and Award Excellence. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and we'll have a special guest on here in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to pick up the bottom of the second inning where the North Chilton All-Stars will try to tack on to their 3-0 lead. Leading off for North Chilton will be third baseman Malcolm Lazama. We really appreciate Don Reed, the home plate umpire, letting us listen in. He had some good insight. The one that I thought was really good was when the batter admitted he tipped it, but no one heard it, so he couldn't call it. He thanked the batter for his honesty. That's something you don't get to hear very often in baseball. And that one is down low to Lazama. By the way, I was reminded that I foolishly mispronounced a name. And I've even mispronounced my own name, folks. It's Baden Sports, not Baden. So here's Nagel on the mound facing Lazama. Chased a low one, fouled it away. Sets and deals, and this one is also fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Malcolm Lazama. Called strike 3. He looked at one that he thought was low, and it was right at his knees. Good pitch there from Nagel. Here's the center fielder, Pee Wee Davis. Boy, he ripped a single yesterday that started a rally. Here he shows bunt and pulls it back. Called strike. This time he does put it down, but it's foul. Brown picks it up foul to make sure it doesn't roll back into fair territory. So now it's no balls, 2 strikes to the center fielder. Swing and a miss. Blew that one right by him. 2 strikeouts here in the bottom of the second. This will bring up a leadoff hitter, second baseman Max Burnett. Max grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Stretch and delivery, and that one's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and one, the count now on the leadoff hitter for the North Chilton All-Stars. Of course, their head coach is Brandon Atchison. Down and in, 3-1. He's assisted by Scott Burnett, Kevin Caraway, and Eddie Carroll. 2 outs, nobody on. 3-1 delivery, swung on, bounced back up. Nagel grabs it, delivers for the out. At the end of 2 complete, North Chilton All-Stars 3, Eastside Thunder nothing. Welcome back to the Dizzy Dean World Series here at Snowden Grove Park in South Haven, Mississippi. I'm Ted Rutan, and I am joined by Diane Baker, National Promotions Director for Shut Sports. Diane, thank you for coming here and joining us today.
Ted, it's good seeing you again. We were on TV last year together and had some great games out here, a little bit better heat today, less heat, I should say, and
we're up in a better spot for us anyway.
Absolutely.
Shut Sports. You've been a great sponsor, and we've mentioned you throughout the week. But tell us a little bit from your own perspective about not only the helmets but the other things that Shut Sports does for baseball and softball.
I don't want to get technical, but I will say that by far we are the #1 batter's helmet in the country, probably the world. Everybody knows that. So we give the boys a helmet that they want, painted the way they want to, with the technology inside that comes from our football program that protects them well. So we have that advantage in our helmets that we can take that Air Max T or that D30, put it in our helmets. We also have a helmet that nobody else has. We can change that padding out. It's not glued in. So we have the best of all worlds in our helmets, and nobody would dispute we by far have the best.
2-0 the count on Andrew Harrington, and he looks at a strike. You've been out here and seen these boys play this week, and what are your thoughts on how the tournament's going?
It's going great. I'm very impressed. As you know, I was a college coach for 30 years, and I'm very impressed with Mr. Carroll on the mound. He's got great presence. I can see why their team has been very successful this year. Pee Wee out there in center field, he's got great speed. They're utilizing that speed. He's made a great defensive play, and anytime you have the speed on the team, you're going to be in the ball game.
Bunt attempt goes foul. Caleb Glickman at the plate as Harrington is on first via the base on balls. Not only this game, but the other players, we've got different age groups here, and you've had a chance to go around and see the other divisions as well in this Dizzy Dean World Series. And, of course, we've got more coming next week. But it's just neat to see all the different levels of play. The competition's been pretty good at all levels.
Well, I traveled the country covering baseball and softball, and it's just amazing me how incredibly talented these young men are at a young age. And, I go to New York next week for another championship. Those boys are 12-year-olds, and they're 5'8". And, it's just amazing how quickly, they grasp this game, the great job the coaches are doing. So it's a pleasure being here and being around this talent.
Swing and a miss. And Price fakes the throw down to first. You mentioned 12-year-olds. We have the 12-year-olds here next week in the Dizzy Dean World Series, and you were here last year when we had the 12-year-olds, and it is neat to see the difference in the age groups. And there's one lifted out to left field, but the left fielder, James Tyler Johnson, grabs it no problem. One out, runner on first, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, T-Dog, Templar Mac.
I love these nicknames they give because when I was a college coach myself, I nicknamed my players. And, when you have that personality and, you can use those nicknames, you have that connection with the coach and the player.
And, of course, the Eastside Thunder, who is hitting now, gave us the nicknames for all of their players. That was this is T-Dog right here, Templar Mac. And on first base is Andrew Harrington. He's the Bullet. So these guys have fun with their nicknames and stuff. And hey, baseball is fun.
If you can't enjoy the game,
then why are you out here?
Why are you out here? And if the fans can't enjoy it, we have great fans out here watching this game. And
single lifted in to left by T-Dog. Templar Mac puts runners at first and second with one out. So perhaps a little rally started here for the Eastside Thunder. Braylon Carroll, as you mentioned, has been in control, but now they have two runners on and only one out for the center fielder, Mad Dog Carey.
Well, when you're playing a championship, when you play a championship, you play into the end. And you don't give up in the first inning. And so there had to be some adjustments on the other team, and they seem to have calmed down now. And so they're in this ball game, and Mr. Carroll's going to have to stay strong and keep his focus. And the other team is playing extremely well through the second inning here. So this is going to be a ball game all the way to the end.
Yeah, Eastside has not lost so far, and I think their run differential is something like 50-4 so far. So they gave up 3 runs there in that first inning, and that's might have been a shock to their system since they'd only given up 4 coming in.
Well, it's probably a little bit nerves. You are playing for a national championship. and it takes a while for people to calm down. These are young boys; they're not adults, and playing the game, so it takes a little bit.
That one fouled away by Correa. Again, we're joined by Diane Baker, and Diane with Shut Sports. I know the focus has been on helmets, but you've also your company, which, by the way, is an American company. It is. You make all your equipment in Illinois. Is that correct?
We are a USA-made helmet and other things, and we are in Illinois, out of Illinois, and we're very proud of being a USA maker. And we have the gamut. We have training devices, bases. A lot of people don't know that we were originally Hollywood bases way back when. Probably the bases you have on your field right now are Shut Sports. So we have everything pretty much except gloves.
Grounder to second. He'll have to go to first, and this one is thrown away. So coming around to score will be Harrington with no play at the plate. So Correa at second, Mack at third. Harrington scores, and perhaps out there, Max Burnett, who came up with it cleanly, he thought about tagging the runner and instead decided he had to go to first, maybe rush that one a little bit.
Right. I didn't want to interrupt the play, but we do catching gear. Like I said, we do everything except for shoes and uniforms and gloves. And we're in the market. Our sales have double dipped since I've taken over baseball because I didn't think it was getting enough attention. So I went out and said, let me have baseball. I think I can do a good job with it. And we've been pleasantly surprised with what's been going on.
Zach Nagel pops one up that Collier bounces off the mound to handle cleanly. So that'll make the second out here in the top of the third with the Eastside Thunder threatening. They trail 3-1. But they have two runners in scoring position, and this brings up their cleanup hitter, catcher Johnny Dedrick.
Well, this is one of those dreams you have. You're the cleanup hitter. You got people in scoring position. You have a chance to tie this ball game, and he's where he wants to be.
Absolutely. And when you're in this is the first of possibly two or the only championship game. And this one is lined up the middle, base hit, and it's going to get by the center fielder. One run scores. Here comes Correa. Dedrick is heading to third, and there will be a play there, and the throw goes over the third baseman, Lazama. They're going to try to score Dedrick. A play at the plate. He's in there. A triple. And sliding in on the overthrow, the Eastside Thunder take the lead 4-3, and you called that one the cleanup hitter in the moment.
Well, he delivered at the time he had to deliver, and he did his job. That's a great play. Pee Wee was playing a little bit shell in the center field, and he got burnt. We call it getting burnt, and he was running the best he could to get the ball, but there's just too much grass out there for him.
And that ball was roped out there, just in the gap, and so now we have Brandon Atchison calls his team in to try to settle them down. They were up 3-0 and cruising, and all of a sudden, one big hit, and they go from being up 3-1 to down 4-3. So probably a good move to go out there and settle down his team. You were a coach. You coached for years in softball, and did you also coach basketball?
No, I coached travel ball after I got.
Okay.
So I've coached at all levels, Division I, Division II, and travel ball. So, and been in championships and had the pleasure of winning some championships. And you've got to be able to handle your nerves in a championship game, and you got to keep playing hard, all the way to the end.
And with younger groups like this, I think it's great if you can go out there and have the kids refocus and just settle them down a little bit. They can get pretty, players at all levels can get pretty emotional. But with this 9-year-old group, it's nice to go out there, settle them down, and say, okay, nobody's on base. Let's go back to the basics here. Donovan Calabrese is the hitter. And let's see if they can get Braylon Carroll settled back down. Boy, he was dominant those first 2 innings.
Well, it's not as hot as it was last year, but it is humid here in this part of the country. And
Carroll picks up the one hopper, throws over to first, so he will get the out. But 4 runs come in for the Eastside Thunder, and they now lead 4-3. And we are going to take a look at some of the things from Shut Sports. Your trophy that you have here, that is the home plate. You mentioned that the company was formerly Hollywood
we bought Hollywood bases actually years back, and a lot of people don't realize that every base out there in baseball is Hollywood base, is owned by Shut Sports. In the Major League Baseball, when they pick the base up and they carry it off to get it signed, that's our base. And so we have the opportunity to have many bases for awards. We have many helmets, we have keychains, we have pocket home plates, pocket bases. So we have given the awards out as a mini home plate this time, and the kids really enjoy it.
And this particular award this week with that home plate?
Well, the boys like it because not only can they get the certificate on a plate and hang it up in their home, but they can get it signed by their other players. And so that's what's so important, is it gives them something besides just a piece of paper. So we're very proud that we've been able to give those awards to the Dizzy Dean National Championship, and we'll continue to do that as long as they enjoy that tournament, enjoy that award.
Well, I think it's really special. I know the boys, they play in all these tournaments, and a lot of times they'll get a trophy. But to get something unique like this is really pretty special, and that'll stick out to them a little bit, I think.
Yeah, trophies are fine, but sometimes they take up dust, and as we say, but a lot of the young men in different championships love that certain award that we are giving them now.
Let's recap the scoring here so far. It's 3 runs in the bottom of the first for the North Chilton All-Stars. They were able to get to the starter, Walker Killamette, via base on balls. There were 4 walks in that first inning that led to those 3 runs. Now, for the Eastside Thunder, they put up 4 there in the top of the third. So it was a very good start by Braylon Carroll, and a tough one for Walker Killamette, but Zach Nagel came in and has really done a nice job, and here he is on the mound, Diane, as we start the bottom of the third, and he came in and shut him down a little bit.
I think Zach has done a great job of keeping his team into the ball game. They were having a rough first inning, as you said. He came in under, a tough situation. He took it under control, and he's calmed his team down, and now they have the lead because of his composure alone.
Let's see if he can keep them in the lead. If he can, this will be the final game, the championship game, as the Eastside Thunder from Atlanta have been undefeated throughout this Dizzy Dean World Series. North Chilton with only 1 loss, and right now Braylon Carroll, the pitcher, steps in against Zach Nagel.
We have us a ball game right now. I was concerned in the first inning, but we have us a ball game.
Oh, yeah. I highly anticipated that Eastside would not go away. As I mentioned, they're coming into this game, their run differential was, I believe, 50-4 throughout this Dizzy Dean World Series.
Well, just think about it. You have a team that was 50-4, now they're being challenged. How are they going to respond? Because they probably haven't been challenged much. So they've probably got to calm themselves down too.
And I think Zach Nagel came in, shut down the North Chilton All-Stars, and then allowed them to get their offense going, and that big hit there by Dedrick put them over the top. So 4-3 is the score, and it's great to see a nice tight ball game. Bright, sunny day. It is hot, but we're starting to get a little bit of a breeze, so maybe that'll make things more comfortable for these guys out there as Carroll goes down swinging.
Well, I was asking about the facility. It's such a beautiful facility, and I said, is this somebody's ranch? And the gentleman corrected me, and he said that was somebody's plantation. In the South, they call it plantation. In Texas, we call it ranches.
Okay. Well, it's a beautiful baseball facility on the plantation.
That's right.
Collier Price, the catcher, steps in. Fouls this one back. That'll make the count no balls and 2 strikes. Hope that didn't get the snow cone girl right there, because she's been busy this week.
last year we did the game together for a while, and we were downstairs and underneath the tent, and of course I think it was 105 out, and we were both dying, and so I'm really excited I'm up here in the press box with you today, Ted.
Yeah, last year I made sure that we had water, watermelon, cantaloupe, anything that would keep putting fluids in right at my feet the whole time. Good pitch there to get Collier Price looking, 2 up, 2 down. Here in the bottom of the third, Braden Atchison steps in.
Braden is a big, strong athlete. I noticed him when they were warming up, and I thought, he's probably in there to hit more than anything, and so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Well, he and Collier Price, who just got caught looking, they play second and catcher, and they switch because they both can do both positions very well. They both have strong arms, and they want to try to show off their arm when somebody gets on base. I've seen that from these two youngsters.
Well, he looks like he's built like what we would call a catcher, and just a thick, strong athlete. So I haven't had the opportunity to watch him this week, but I did notice him immediately for being that big, strong athlete.
Here's the delivery from Nagel, swung on, popped up, and this one is going to drop in the little triangle there between second, right, and center, and a base hit there for Braden Atchison. So he'll be on first base, and they haven't switched him to catcher yet. When they did that yesterday, it was a matter of, with those two boys, Price and Atchison, batting back-to-back, when they were going to switch one to catcher, then they could actually have the courtesy runner, but he's not a catcher, so they can't put a courtesy runner in for him this time. So here's Sebastian Caraway, the right fielder, stepping in with 2 outs, and Atchison at first base. Now, we're going to get a chance here at the break to talk a little bit more, but one of the features I really like is with your batting helmets, that the youngsters can get one of your top quality batting helmets and they can keep it as they grow.
Absolutely, because we have changeable padding inside. It comes out like a football helmet with 4 screws. It's not glued in, and we're the only company that does that. And boy, I tell you, I was at the World Cup last week, and it really came in handy for the USA team. I was switching out helmets, but it took us about 15 minutes, and we had everybody fitted in a proper helmet. So that's a big advantage. As these young men grow, they don't have to keep buying a brand new helmet.
That's just a great thing. Plus, it becomes their personal equipment, instead of having to change every 2 years or so.
Yeah, and it used to be a time, tradition in baseball was not a lot of color. But now these boys love color. And, so they want to look different. And so we can provide their look that they want. Each team can have their look if they want to. And that would be their helmet for that organization. We do that quite a lot in the organizations, and they really like that.
Caraway swings back up the middle. Nagel on the one hopper, no problem over to Caleb Glickman. That will end the bottom of the third. At the end of 3 complete, it's 4 for the Eastside Thunder and 3 for the North Chilton All-Stars. Let's keep it right here, and we just started talking about those helmets. We've got to look now at a couple of the helmets here for our viewers, and those are really sharp, and you probably have a lot of different unique paint schemes. Oh,
we have thousands of paint per se. You can have a helmet any color you want it, and we have hundreds of designs. So, and we're not closed to the idea that we can make you a specific look. So we're open to that too. So, and the padding inside is quite unique because the padding is D30 or it's Air Max T. Both of those do a great job of protecting your head because some of the material gets harder as the contact is made with the helmet and gets the power away from your head. And in this day and age, the parents like price, but the most important thing to them is protection. And so we've made sure that we make the best protection because we have that advantage of being a football company first.
And speaking of football, you've had great success in that. how many football programs and what levels do you cover? I realize that in the brochure I've seen in last year's brochure and this year that you're a direct supplier to so many Division I schools.
Oh, well, we're the second largest company in the world in football, and the first in baseball, softball, as far as helmets are concerned. So, pros wear our helmets all the way down to Little League or to Pee Wee, football. And so my job's easy because they're giving me the technology I need to give it to the parents. They want cost, they want look, they want protection. And the kids want to be cool, and they want something comfortable. And so I get all that from the factory. My job becomes very easy.
Well, Diane, we certainly appreciate you joining us here today, and best of luck for the rest of the year on your trip to New York.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll have some nice, cool weather up there.
Thank you so much, Ted. Appreciate it.
But the last year and this year, we've had the pleasure of having you here on our broadcast, and it's really been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much,
All right.
Ted.
Thank you, Diane Baker, National Promotions Director for Shoutouts Sports and a former All-American and coach. And as she mentioned, we've got a dandy here. It's 4-3 going into the top of the fourth. Kolten Brown will be leading things off for the Eastside Thunder. He'll look at ball one. Boy, that's just great to hear from someone who's been around all these different tournaments and the different sports and different levels, and yet still can connect immediately with one particular game as she steps in to watch this game. And she was watching the kids warm up as perhaps a coach would, since she obviously was a coach for a long time. And it's just neat to hear the perspective from someone who steps in that's seen the players from around the country. Great stuff. Glad to have Diane join us here today. Kolten Brown, he walked his first time up. He looks at it, ball four, and he'll have his second walk of the game.
Runner first, no outs.
Once again, we're joined every once in a while now from Don Reed, the home plate umpire. Glad to have him mic'd up from Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee. Jack Walsh, the shortstop, steps in.
Ball in. Just another foul ball. 0-2. Play. That's down.
Great stuff hearing the pitches being called right from the home plate umpire. 1-2.
It's up and out.
The Eastside Thunder comes in here undefeated, and if they can hold on to this slim 4-3 lead, they will be the minor league champions here in the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series.
Here you go.
I got a sub coming in for my runner.
Okay, come on. Come on. Come on.
Cold. We got 99 for 87.
99 for 87.
So as we just heard,
99 for 87.
Ian Robertson will come in to pinch run for Kolten Brown. And that ball is line to second, and we've got a double play. Max Burnett right there flips it over to Braden Atchison to get the pinch runner, Ian Robertson, off the bag. So the line drive, Burnett right over to Atchison, two gone quickly. excuse me, that was Levi in there at second base now. We did not get that change. That was Levi Wilkins. So 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. The leadoff walk erased by the nice double play. Andrew Harrington, who started things in the top of the 3rd with a leadoff walk and scored the first run for Eastside, steps in with 2 down and nobody on. Collier delivers. That one's low and in. And it looks like Atchison may have moved back behind the plate now, and Price out to first. That one misses outside, and another walk for Andrew Harrington. He's been up twice, walked twice. So this will bring up the first baseman, number 37, Caleb Glickman. Looks at one down low, ball 1. Harrington on first base. As Glickman looks at a strike, Harrington talking to the first base coach, Matt Correa. Probably reminding him there's 2 outs, get running as soon as it's hit, as that bunt attempt is fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Glickman. One and 2 the count. Carroll delivers. Wilkins bobbles it over to second, not in time. Just that little bobble allowed Harrington to get into second safely. So now we have something going here. First and second, 2 outs, and this will bring up the leadoff hitter, T-Dog, Templar Mack. He singled his last time up. Looks at a strike called on the inside corner. That one's fouled out of play. No balls, 2 strikes for the second baseman. Braylon Carroll got the best of him in the first inning. Mack was caught looking, but he came back with a big single and scored a run in the 3rd. Looks at one down. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Eastside Thunder trying to add to their lead, 4-3. And this one is popped up. The second baseman. This time Levi Wilkins snags it, and the inning is over. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. The Eastside Thunder, 4. The North Chilton All-Stars, 3.
You're making too much noise, so hold it down a little bit. 70?
72 runs, yeah.
So we got 72, 70, and 67?
Somebody,
Y'all want Dizzy Dean to make a decision?
they both him and you got. You got 67, I've got 67.
Okay, we better get Dizzy over here. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Dizzy Dean! Brent, got a dispute on pitch count here. We got 67, 70, and 72. On the pitcher for the Warriors. Thank you, sir.
Welcome back to the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series. Glad you're joining us here on the Dizzy Dean Baseball Network. I'm Ted Rutan. We've got some changes out in the field. I believe Zach Nagel is still on the mound, and that is the main change to be concerned about for the North Chilton All-Stars. Defensively, though, I believe the Eastside Thunder have moved Donovan Calabrese to catcher, Johnny Dedrick to first base, Templar Mack over to third, and perhaps it was Ian Robertson now to second base. I'm not sure on that one. We'll get you updated on those as we see them around the infield. The main thing is, leading off the bottom of the fourth, John Mason Hamaker. Tries to bunt on the first pitch. That one's fouled away. The infield in a little bit. Again, T-Dog, Templar Mack is now moved over to third. Dedrick has moved to first base. Walsh is still at short. Nagel is on the mound. That one's down low to Hamaker. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this was bunted. Nagel can't quite come up with it in time, so Hamaker will reach first with the bunt. We'll give him a single on that one. So leadoff man on. They trail by 1. Here's James Tyler Johnson, the left fielder, stepping in against Nagel. Good speed over there at first as we saw Hamaker hustle out that bunt. Inside, ball 1. Again, we've had Don Reed on. That's been great. Listening to that home plate umpire give his thoughts on what we've got going.
It was right at the knees. Could have went either way. He swung. A high pitch, 1 or 2.
Good fastball there from Nagel.
Line drive.
And there's a base hit into right field, and they're going to try to throw him out at first, and not in time. And now Hamaker goes over to third. So the base hit to right field. The right fielder tried to throw him out at first base.
Fooled me. I thought the first base.
But he hustled it out, got his base hit, and that puts him at first and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. The North Chilton All-Stars threatening as they trail 4-3. Johnson tried to get caught in a rundown, but Eastside Thunder would not bite. Now batting is Levi Wilkins in for Lazama in the lineup, and he lays down a bunt, and it stays on the chalk. And it just rolled foul. That one was on the chalk for quite a while, and at the last spin of the ball, just rolled foul. And they allow the stolen base by Johnson, no throw, so now it's second and third, nobody out. And Wilkins pops it up to center field. The catch is made. The runner tags, but the throw is right on the money. Mad Dog Maddox Carre threw that one in on a line to Donovan Calabrese. So Wilkins flies out to center, and this will bring up center fielder Pee Wee Davis. Second and third, one out. 4-3 ball game. Bottom of the fourth. Nagel delivers. Pee Wee gets out of the way. The ball's down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield in. Outfield playing relatively shallow for Pee Wee Davis. He turns to bunt, and that one is in play. And there's a runner thinking about going to the plate. He's not running, but Pee Wee is still standing at the plate. Okay. Everything's back. Second and third. 1 out. 3 balls, 1 strike. The bunt attempt fails. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. Inside, Pee Wee Davis looks at ball 4, and that will load him up here for the leadoff hitter, Max Burnett. And we have a timeout on the field. We're going to have a conversation on the mound. I don't think they're going to do anything as far as replacing Nagel. He's done an outstanding job when he came in the bottom of the first with only 1 out. Got 2 strikeouts there in the first. And he has shut down North Chilton since then. However, he finds himself in a bases-loaded jam with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Leadoff hitter Max Burnett ready to step in. What a key moment in this ball game. Upstairs, says Don Reed from Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee, our home plate umpire.
Down.
This one gets away, and there's no play at the
Ball
plate.
sliding in the home. Safe.
We are tied at 4 as that one got behind the catcher, Calabrese, and Hammaker made no mistake. He was going home right away. Now we have second and third. 1 out to Max Burnett, and the score is tied at 4. He squares around as if to bunt, pulls it back. And another ball 4. So that will reload the bases. That one fouled away on the first pitch. Braylon Carroll saw from Nagel. Tie ball game. 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the 4th inning. North Chilton scored 3 in the first. They've been shut down since then until this inning. And here's a bunt. Nagel is going to go right home to Calabrese for the force out. Well done defensively. Zach Nagel popped right off the mound. Calabrese knew all he had to do was keep a foot on the plate. So now we have bases loaded, 2 down. Here comes Collier Price. He started off as catcher and has since switched positions with Atchison. He's moved to first base. This one is grounded to third, and Mack will grab it, step on the bag for the force out, and that will end the threat. At the end of 4 innings, we are tied at 4. A comeback there by North Chilton. We'll have more Dizzy Dean World Series in just a moment.
Thank you, John. Ten for 98. Mark on the east side. Substituting. For 98. All right, 2 more pitch, ball's in. Game moving right along.
Welcome back. We're ready for the top of the 5th inning here. All tied at 4. Center fielder Maddox Mad Dog Carre leading things off for the Eastside Thunder. Top of the 5th. All tied at 4. Eastside was shut down the first 2 innings by Braylon Carroll, the starting pitcher. He's still in for the North Chilton All-Stars. However, Eastside was able to get to him for 4 runs in the 3rd inning. A big triple delivered by Johnny Dedrick. They took the lead 4-3. North Chilton answered in the bottom of the 4th with 1, and we're tied at 4. There's a line drive, and it's a single on the infield, and now Carre will go to second. Nice effort there by Price. He couldn't get to it in the air, and the pitcher couldn't cover in time. It was a nice effort, but Carre was going to beat that one out, and on the throw to first that got away, Carre moves up to second base. So there's a single, and moving up on the throw for Correa. So leadoff batter is on second. And it looks like we have a re-entry into the game. That is Walker Killamette coming into bat. So Zach Nagel's day as pitcher is done for the Eastside Thunder. Killamette back in to hit. He will not be allowed to pitch again. But he is up there to hit, and this one is popped up in the air. Second baseman Levi Wilkins makes the play. 1 out. So this will now bring up Johnny Dedrick. One out, top of the fifth. Tie ball game. Runner in scoring position at second base. This one is popped toward first. It gets by the first baseman, and that will be in there for a single by Dedrick. Price couldn't quite get to that one in time. A lazy line drive in the right place for a single, and we now have runners at first and third with 1 out. And it looks like we may have a defensive change. Actually, we're going to have a pitching change. I apologize. So coming in to pitch will be number 21. That's John Mason Hamaker, who's been the shortstop. And it's very possible that Carroll will just move over to shortstop. I would assume that will be the simple change they will make. He has played shortstop for them in the past. So an excellent outing by Braylon Carroll. He gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, and he's left 2 runners out there under his watch. So the new pitcher now will be Hamaker. And I'm fairly certain Carroll will just move back to shortstop.
Coaches use these pitchers a little too much. Thing you want to do is injure one of these little arms before they really get started. Okay, catcher, where are you? Go ahead. You're all right till he gets there. Get in there, young man. Catch a couple. Throw a couple to your catcher, son.
The new pitcher for the North Chilton All-Stars, John Mason Hamaker. He'd been playing shortstop, and it'll be a simple change there. Braylon Carroll will just move back out to short. And that was the pitch limit for Braylon Carroll. He's done pitching for this Dizzy Dean World Series. Had a great effort today. First pitch by Hamaker is in there for a called strike on Donovan Calabrese. Second pitch, swing and a miss by Calabrese. So we have runners at second and third now, one out, tie ball game, top of the fifth. Big situation here for Calabrese. If he has two runners in scoring position, could push the Thunder into the lead. And this one is ripped up the middle, base hit. Pee Wee Davis throws home, and they will hold the runners at first and third, and now Calabrese will just take second without a throw. So a big hit there by Donovan Calabrese gives the lead to the Eastside Thunder.
Goes to second. Now we got runners at second and third. Eastside got a one-run lead.
You can hear the crowd chiming in as umpire Don Reed was kind of explaining the situation. The ball gets away, but the runners will not advance as Braden Atchison did a nice job
Come here, check him out, Brandon.
of knocking that one down, and they're going to go out and check on Braden Atchison.
Where'd he hit you? You all right? Can you move? Squeeze my hand. You okay? You need to come out?
You need to go to different. You need somebody else to catch.
Oh, got him in the arm. I know it's painful.
Well, we're going to hope that Braden Atchison's going to be okay. He's taking a beating back there at catcher, and I think they may make a move and put him back at first base. We're going to have a change in the catcher position, so let's go ahead and take a short break while they change the equipment out, and let's hope that Braden Atchison's all right.
Get him to throw you a couple of ground balls there, son. Is he going into the field or is he coming out? Swap. He's coming out as catcher. He's going into the field. Thank goodness it's nothing serious. Coach, you want to warm up the pitcher? Okay, pitch. Well, after I got used to foul balls, I tell you what, I went with the sound. You know, you go with the sound, and boy, that sounds like a. Well, you know, it's just thought it happens right there when you're on TV, huh? I hope you guys had your camera off when I messed up on that foul ball or fireball. That ain't gonna happen. No. They can edit that out, right? That's right, yeah. You hear that? You hear that, fellas? You can edit. You can edit that call I made on that fireball.
Welcome back to the championship game, or first of two championship games here at the 2018 Dizzy Dean World Series. The 9-year-olds minor league, contested by the Eastside Thunder, who lead now 5-4 over the North Chilton All-Stars. They put up one here in the top of the fifth. We had a little break as the catcher was injured, so they're going to change positions. And while we have this moment, we really want to thank our fine sponsors. Shut Sports, and boy, that was a pleasure to have Diane Baker on there for a couple of innings. Baden Sports, David Sunflower Seeds, Rawlings, The Game Baseball Caps, Southern Athletic Fields, Louisville Slugger, Awards of Excellence. Thank you to all those sponsors. Let's see who the change in catcher is going to be. We'll be able to see his number. I don't think they made any position changes. They may not have any other players to come in for position change from the bench. We do know that John Mason Hammaker has just stepped into the pitcher's spot, and Carroll changed positions, went back out to shortstop. Atchison will move over back to first base where he started the game. Let's hope he's all right. He took one, I think, a pitch that went in the dirt, caught him in the forearm, I believe. He looks like he's doing okay out there. He's throwing a little bit, catching. And I'm fairly certain they moved Price over to third. And we'll see who they bring in to catch now. The catcher will be Max Burnett. He had started the game at second, moved to third when Wilkins came in for Lizama, and now he'll move from third to catcher. So he's played second, third, and catcher already in this game. That's got to be fun to be able to play all those different positions. So let's reset things here. It's 5-4, Eastside Thunder leading in the top of the fifth with one out. Runners on second, Donovan Calabrese. Third, Johnny Dedrick. And at the plate, Kolten Brown. And the count on Kolten Brown, let's see, from home plate umpire Don Reed is 1-1. And first pitch swinging. Wilkins can't come up with it. It's going to go out to right field. One run scores. The second run is trying to come in. Calabrese scores. And going down to second is Brown. And that's not Brown. That is Robertson. And we now have a 7-4 ball game. Big moment in the game there as he hit it towards second base. Unable to come up with it was Wilkins. And now it is a 3-run lead for the Eastside Thunder. Hammaker looks in. Pitches outside to Jack Walsh. And this was his line to short. Carroll grabs it, but easily back to second. So 2 gone. This will bring up the right fielder, Andrew Harrington. He swings and fouls this one away. Robertson out there at second base. 7-4 the score. 2 outs, top of the fifth inning. No balls, 1 strike to Harrington. A slow roller to second. Wilkins comes up with it, throws to first. This one in time, and that will end the inning. But the Eastside Thunder tack on 3. Going into the bottom of the fifth, they now lead the North Chilton All-Stars 7-4.
Is he the one that ended the last inning? He's just now coming in? Right now? First time? 20 coming in to pitch. Whoop, here you go, here you go. Huh? Oh, I'm feeling about. I started out at 20 years younger, but now I'm about 15 years. But I'm having fun. It's fun. Looking good out there. Looking good. I'm so used to it. I've had these Warriors about, gee whiz, I think it's about the 4th game. And man, slapping leather. And today they've, what, about 4 times, like in Grand Morgan. That didn't happen.
Yeah. See, I've had this red team a couple times, and they pretty.
Yeah, well.
This pitcher they got, this pitcher is
Is this one of the better pitchers? 2 more pitch, ball's there. Pretty good, huh? Lefty, oh. Here you go. Thanks, sir. You okay?
We're ready for the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Dizzy Dean World Series for the minor league 9-year-old division. We've got a change in pitchers as Zach Nagel reached his limit of 75. On the hill now for the Eastside Thunder is Jack Walsh. There will be a host of defensive changes. I will try to keep up here. We have Andrew Harrington moving from right field to third base. Templar Mack is now playing shortstop. Caleb Glickman back at first. Johnny Dedrick is catching. Calabrese moves out to right field. Maddox Carre is still in center, and that's what we've got for you right now. Leading things off here is Braden Atchison, who has played first, caught, was injured, and is back at first base. So the score is 7-4. Eastside Thunder on top. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Atchison. Inside, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Nice pitch there from Jack Walsh. Walsh kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. There from Ethan Ray, who was in for Sebastian Caraway. One ball, 1 strike to Ray. Walsh sets, delivers. Up and away, ball 2. Well, this has been an interesting ball game with 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st for the North Chilton All-Stars. That one's outside, 3-1. 4 runs in the top of the 3rd for Eastside Thunder. 1 run in the bottom of the 4th to tie things up at 4 by North Chilton. And then 3 runs in the top of the 5th to make it a 7-4 ball game. 1 out, and Ray fouls this one away. We've given shout-outs to a bunch of folks from the Eastside Thunder. We have some extra ones today for Granny Bunny and Grandpa in Georgia. Swing and a miss. Got Ray on that fastball. 2 gone here in the 5th. Also, Grandma and Grandpa in Wisconsin. Papa and Mimi and Aunt Kelly in Indiana. Sisters Molly, Grace, Caroline. And White Grandma, she has white hair with a big smiley face. In front of the plate, And it's over to first, not in time. What hustle by John Mason Hamaker to beat that one out. Walsh came off the mound pretty well and fired to Glickman at first, but Hamaker hustles out an infield single. Also, Baconator wants a shout out to Evan Schaff and friends in PC. Here's James Tyler Johnson. Swing and fouled away. So Hamaker getting to work out, running down to second and hustling back to first. 1 on 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Johnson looks, swings, and misses, and that will retire the side. We'll go to the 6th inning. The Eastside Thunder lead 7-4. We're ready for the last inning in a moment.
Thank you, Lord, for that little breeze. Whew, feels good. A little sweat, a little breeze, and revived again. Got me a catcher? Catch 2, son. Throw your catcher 2, young man. Catch 2 and then throw the second one down, okay? Sounds like that coach has about lost his voice. Yeah. That happens. Oh, my goodness.
We're back ready for the 6th inning. The Eastside Thunder lead the North Chilton All-Stars 7-4. And leading things off for the Eastside Thunder, first baseman Caleb Glickman. And he bunts. Hamaker picks it up and throws this one wild. And Glickman is going to hustle into second base. And they're going to wave him on over to third. And instead the throw is cut off and he'll slide back into second base. So Glickman bunts his way on, and he's now on second base. This will bring up the leadoff hitter, Templar Mac T-Dog, as Glickman, the vacuum, is out there at second. Hey, while we were giving shout-outs, we want to finish up some of those sponsors from North Chilton. Shelby Concrete, Jameson Internal Medicine, J. Patel, M.D., the Bridge Builders of Alabama, Langston Trucking, and the Alpha and Omega Group. Hey, again, thanks to all the sponsors and all the fans there. This one is grounded to third, and it's lined to third, excuse me. Grabbed by Collier Price. One gone here in the top of the sixth. Maddox Correa looks at one down low, or actually a slow strike call. Swing and bounded to first base. Atchison up with it, steps on the bag. Nice play there by Braden Atchison. So we have two gone. Runner advances to third, bringing up Walker Killamette. He was the starting pitcher, had a rough first inning, was replaced by Zach Nagel, and he's now re-entered. He'd love to get a chance to drive in another run here in the top of the sixth inning. And that one gets away from the catcher, and hustling in for an insurance run perhaps is Caleb Glickman. It's now 8-4. That clears the bases. Two gone. Killamette looks at a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. And he'll look at ball 4. So here comes Johnny Dedrick. Started at catcher, moved around, he's back at catcher, and he had a big 2-run triple back in the third inning. Hamaker's fastball to the outside corner called strike 1. Again, we appreciate Don Reed from Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee, the home plate umpire, allowing us to have him mic'd up, and enjoyed listening to him today. The other umpires, Jeff Bosley at first base from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and there's a grounder to third. The force at second is in time. Price over to Wilkins. Oh, wait a minute. They say the ball was not caught.
Well, the second baseman, they try to get a force at second. Once again, their gloves are not working today. Boy.
The voice of Don Reed behind the plate telling it like it is. So we have first and second now. With 2 outs, the bunt attempt by Calabrese goes foul. Another foul back by Calabrese. Jeff Bosley, I mentioned at first base. Jerry Richardson, who made that call out there from Charleston, Mississippi. And Johnny Ackerman from Memphis has been our third base umpire in today's championship game. Grounder, Hamaker picks it up. He's going to throw over to third, and it gets away. Since the ball was bounced over toward third base, he figured it would be an easier play to toss it to third. However, Price couldn't get back to third base in time, and the ball was not caught, so we have the bases loaded. Eastside Thunder trying to pad their 8-4 margin here in the top of the sixth and final inning. Ian Robertson, the batter. This one is popped up, and Atchison comes over. Can't quite get there. Good effort from Braden Atchison. And, you know, he's given a great effort out there. He played first base, moved in to catch for a while, got injured taking a ball off the forearm, moved back out to first, and has made some nice plays out there. Swing and a miss on an inside fastball. 2 strikes now on Robertson. Excuse me, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Hammaker was low, evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this is lined up the middle. It'll get through. Base hit for Robertson. 1 run scores. Now trying to score is Dedrick, and he is out at the plate. Don Reed with the call.
He's out. He's out here. More than 3 feet.
Well, the base, the base hit from Robertson scores 1. That'll make it 9-4. We're going to the bottom of the 6th in just a moment.
He was out more than 3 feet. Yeah. Okay. Well, when you get my age, you got to think for half an hour. That's the reason that got me in trouble on that third ball. That foul. It sounded just like, I mean, you know, you go with the sound. The way it comes off the bat, it's just like a click, you know? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was behind me. I've had that happen to me before, and luckily that time I didn't make a call. Yeah. And I was, I thought it was a foul ball, and I looked up, the pitcher was catching it. Oh well, that's the way to start, right? Get a mistake all the way and go. Don't get out the way. I guess this is gonna be it, huh? Well, we get a game and a half. If this is it, they come back, win it. I'll tell you what, I'm stunned at their glove work. They have been just. Brandon, I'm stunned, man. I am stunned at your kids and their glove work.
They ain't playing defense today.
Man,
We're playing like we played against the Lightning the first game.
Is that right? I mean, you guys just y'all slapped that leather, man. Best I've seen. I've been bragging about you guys all week, and today you letting little old ground balls get through your legs.
Can't make a play to save a life.
Well, that happens. That's 9-year-olds, isn't it?
They ain't perfect.
You're right. Two more pass, balls in.
Welcome back to the Dizzy Dean World Series here at Snowden Grove Park in South Haven, Mississippi. The 9-year-old minor league division championship game. Jack Walsh on the mound for the Eastside Thunder, trying to close things out. They lead 9-4 over the North Chilton All-Stars. It's been a tight game, and then Eastside, it was tied at 4, and they scored 3 in the top of the 5th and tacked on 2 more in the 6th. So they have a 5-run lead. This is the last chance for the North Chilton All-Stars. Leading off, number 16, Levi Wilkins. First pitch strike from Jack Walsh. Walsh delivers, and this one is popped up. First baseman Glickman, 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. This brings up the center fielder, Pee Wee Davis. Pee Wee has walked and struck out in today's game so far. Had a big knock in yesterday's game. First pitch fouled back to the screen. Walsh sets, kicks, delivers, inside, 1-1. Down low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Walsh delivers. That one's called strike 2 at the knees. Two balls, 2 strikes. Davis swings, grounder back up the middle. Walsh handles it over to Glickman. 2 gone. And the North Chilton All-Stars are down to their last out. They do have their leadoff hitter, Max Burnett, coming up to face Jack Walsh. First pitch swung on and fouled away. Walsh sets, delivers, swung on and missed. Strike 2. Well, if this is the final batter and final out, North Chilton All-Stars have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hang their head about. They have done an outstanding job and fought all the way, and this has been a tight battle. The last 2 innings have put North Chilton down by 5, and the Eastside Thunder have been a formidable foe, but North Chilton putting up a fight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Max Burnett. Walsh sets, delivers.
2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And a miss. Strike 3. Ball game.
The Eastside Thunder have won the 9-year-old minor league Dizzy Dean World Series Championship. The final score, 9-4. Well, it was an excellent effort by the Eastside Thunder all week long. They win this championship game 9-4. They had an outstanding pitching performance from Zach Nagel, and then finishing it off was Jack Walsh. The North Chilton All-Stars got a great pitching performance also from Braylon Carroll. He ran out of gas, ran out of pitches. He was replaced by Hammaker, who did a fine job. But the final score, the Eastside Thunder 9, the North Chilton All-Stars 4. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with trophy presentations and some final thoughts. We'll be back with more from the Dizzy Dean World Series. Welcome back to the Dizzy Dean World Series, the 9-year-old minor league championship game, which was won by the Eastside Thunder, 9-4 over the North Chilton All-Stars. Congratulations to both teams. We're getting ready for a trophy ceremony, and we're going to put the mic down on that so you can hear them as they talk about that. Until they get ready for that, we just want to give a special shout-out. Let's run down the players real quick for, Templar Mack, Maddox Correa, Walker Killamit, Johnny Dedrick, Donovan Calabrese, Kolten Brown, Jack Walsh, Ian Robertson, Caleb Glickman, Andrew Harrington, and Zach Nagel, and of course the coaching staff, Mark Glickman, Kevin Killamit, Matt Correa, and John Walsh. And for North Chilton, their lineup, of course, Max Burnett, Braylon Carroll, Collier Price, Braden Atchison, Sebastian Caraway, John Mason Hamaker, James Tyler Johnson, Malcolm Lazama, Pee Wee Davis, Ethan Ray, and Levi Wilkins, and their coaching staff, Brandon Atchison, Scott Burnett, Kevin Caraway, and Eddie Carroll. Let's go down to the field, Mike, and check out the trophy presentations.
everybody.